What is up, everybody? Welcome to Monster Core Arcade. Arcade is always spelled with a K. I'm Johnny Hardcore. There I am right there. The mining guy. Mining Johnny Hardcore with my miner hat on and my miner light. So today I'm going to attempt to figure out what's going on with Star Wars from Data East. This is a pretty collectible game. It's an old game. It's in whatever the year is. Definitely from the late 80s, early 90s. It's a nice game. It's a fun game. It's a fast game. It's awesome sound effects, and a lot of clips from the movie. I don't know which movie it's from. I don't know if it's from. I don't think it's from Star Wars. I think it's from Empire Strikes Back, or a compilation of the three trilogies: Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back. But anywho, there are some issues with this game. Now, it doesn't get played a lot. That's one of the issues. So, when you fire it up, it fires up and it's looking for a ball. Not sure why. You press the button to start the game. Coins up, right? On the third try, or the fourth try, when you press the start button right here, right? It shoots. The ball comes out and then it goes to play, right? So that's number 3. That's the third time. Let's see if it's the fourth time it does it. Yeah. So that's something that's not right, obviously. So now one ball comes out, right? Oh, wait. Nothing's happening. So I'm looking at this game, right? I'm looking inside the boards. I'm not going to touch this now. But this Molex clip right here, right? I mean, I might be a little bit tired and everything like that, but it doesn't look like it fits there. It doesn't. It's one short, and there's a hole stopper right there, right? You can see it. So this, to me, doesn't look like it's the right clip. Now, I only pulled one off. I pulled this one off so far to see. Let me shut this game off because it's driving me nuts. I mean, I'm sure plenty of you savvy pinball nerd techs out there could do this in a second, but me, I'm like Richard Grieco. I'm the exception. I'm not a cool nerd. No, I'm a cool nerd. I don't know. That doesn't even makes any sense. I'm not as cool as you guys. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys know how to do this more than me, even girls. But I'm going to attempt to figure out what is going on with Star Wars. And the reason why I state Star Wars is because of Family Guy. And if anybody watches Family Guy out there, you must, and you're a Star Wars fan, you must watch Blue Harvest and something episodes. I think there's another one. I don't know. I forget the other name, but Blue Harvest is one, and something is the other. And you will be on the floor laughing hysterical watching this show because of how they nailed it, making a spin-off of the Star Wars movie. And I think one of them is God, I don't know if it's Empire Strikes Back or Star Wars. I think it's Star Wars and then Empire Strikes Back and then Return of the Jedi. And I'm sure they did it in that way, that order. All right, anyway, getting back to Star Wars Pinball by Data East. Just show you a little what I did to it. It had the original topper broken because Luke Skywalker cracked him with the lightsaber. So he cracked his head off. Remember when he beheaded Darth Vader? Who beheaded Darth Vader? I can't remember. I haven't watched these movies in so long. Anyway, my joke is, I found this one at a flea market or a yard sale or something, and this one is actually a carry case of all the guys, of all the the action figures that they used to have. And I do have an action figure in there too. I have Luke Skywalker. I think it's an old one too. It's inside the cabinet somewhere. But anyway, I just put that one up there because this one it's smaller and it's just a piece of crap plastic and it's broke, and I was gonna cut it and just put some piece on it, but when I found that one, I'm like, hey, you know what? That one's better. And it's bigger and it's perfect. All right. Let me get into figuring out what's going on with this game. Like I said, this is my first issue here, which I don't understand why that clip right there goes to that one. And I have other Data East machines here, so I'm gonna go do some research myself on Last Action Hero. And I think let me see which ones are Data East. WWF I think is Data East also, but it's a wide body, so that might not match. Ooh, look at this. LW3 is a Data East, and so is Last Action Hero. All right, so I'm gonna go check these out. Be right back. All right, just want to look at one thing here because I have no idea what this means. Who the heck is that? Who is that? RoboCop in Lethal Weapon 3? Is he wearing a do-rag? Oh, I can't remember. What is this guy? Who's that guy? All right, anyway. We know that guy is, right? The F you at the drive-thru. Okay. So anyway, this was the clip that I wanted to see, and now that's how that looks, right? The other one I have does not look like that. This one fits this completely, right? You gotta make sure you get all the pins. Otherwise, it won't work the way it's supposed to work. And if you do see in the LW3, Lethal Weapon 3, I changed the power supply because whenever this was, the DMD was not working. And I have the same issue in my WWF, which is also a Data East, I believe. Let me check really quick. I'm not going to remember anyway, but let me just see. Let's see. Is it say it? Where's Data East? Everybody's screaming at me. It's a Data East! Okay, there's the confirmation, Data East. And this is an alternate translate for WWF. We'll get back to WWF another day. Right now we're trying to figure out Star Wars. Alright, so anyway, I don't know what I was talking about. But I did have a DMD issue with LW3. I'm sorry I'm going off into a tangent into this one, but I'm over here, so I want to explain it to you quick. But I didn't really, not that I didn't understand, but I thought that all I had to do was just, fix the power supply or find a fuse. When you do all your research and you ask all the tech heads and pin heads what to do, they tell you, oh, just change a fuse. There's a fuse in here. There's a fuse in there. Simple fix. This X pin, beautiful purple X pin board, I believe costed, I'm not going to tell you, I can't tell you exactly. It was either $79 for a board, or $100 and something, maybe $130, $140 shipped. Okay, it's one or the other. Now, anyone that owns any pinball machines, these boards are 30 to 40 years old. They are not going to last long, and you need to upgrade. And especially if you have a Data East, a lot of these Data East games are, the parts are not really there. Anytime I've ever looked, I've gotten very lucky getting certain parts. The plastic kit for Lethal Weapon. Last Action Hero plastic kit I think I have, I'm not too sure. But other parts, other boards especially, very hard to come by. So X-Pin figured it out. And not only is it such a beautiful color of purple, it doesn't match the other boards or the game whatsoever, but it's beautiful, right? Beautiful purple. This runs much more cooler. It'll definitely make the game run way less. You don't have that silver box in there that, I don't know what that thing is called. It's you guys all know that term for that thing. But that box right here, this one. That one, what's this called? Come on, tell me. Put in a comment because I can't think of it right now. Whatever it's called, okay? That is gone. And there's probably a whole bunch of other relays and fuses and other things that are not in there anymore. So this is the move. If you own a Data East, go to xpin.com or whoever sells Xpin boards and buy that Xpin power supply board. That is your fix. If your DMD does not work, like mine did not work, and probably my WWF Royal Rumble DMD does not work, it's probably the same thing. It's probably the board, that board, which I didn't get to yet, which I'm not even going to try to get to yet. But that is an easy fix. Unfortunately, when I did replace the board and put this one in, right, the DMD still wasn't working. But guess what? It wasn't just the board, it was the DMD also. And the DMD, this thing right here, the shield, let's see if I have one somewhere around. I know I do. That little green thing that's like the digital part, the DMD. Okay, this piece, right? when you take off the plastic and you pull this thing out, most of these are so old that they don't work anymore. They're the beautiful ugly orange. So that was also broken in my Lethal Weapon, or just blue. I mean, I'm not too sure if you could fix it. Haven't really looked into it, but I have a couple of them that are dead. But anyway, that is an issue that could be fixed simply by just buying a new power supply board for the any Data East pinball machine, and you'll never look back. And you'll never have to replace it again, because it'll last you, has to last you, another 30 to 40 years, especially with all the technology we have today. So anyway, and anywho, you could also see that I put the NVRAM RAM, the NVRAM RAM rod. We put that chip in here because then you have the score save and the setting save, and you don't have to have those batteries, those pesky batteries that you will forget to change, and they will leak all over the board and destroy the game. So in my opinion, get one of those. Where is it? Where is it? Hello? There you are. Okay. And you can get the anything pin, you can get this one, whoever makes it, whoever has the best price and whatever, it's all the same. It's just a chip. But if you do this yourself and you replace it by yourself, you gotta make sure you keep your pins straight. When you pull it off, use like a prior tool and do it carefully. And try to do it evenly, like do one side and do another side and then pull it straight. Oh, don't tell me I just did that. That's not good. Oh, why'd I do that on camera? What an idiot. Yeah. All right, I shut the light off and use my spotlight, my mining hat, to make sure it goes in all the way. So I hope I hit all the pins. Let me do a quick test. Everybody hold your breath. Let's see.
May the Force be with you.
I hope it is. Obi-Wan. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Fake Homer Simpson. That's a good sign. And we got two lights right there. That's good too. All right, the two lights looking at you. All right, so same issue with that. Looking for the ball thing. All right, that's one other thing too to remember when you mess around with pinball machines. Don't take anything out by mistake or whatever. Make sure you put it right back right away, because if you don't, you will be effed. All right, let me get looking more into this, and I'll post a video when I hopefully figure something out. All right, my first thing to do will be to check fuses. All right, because one of the issues also is the lights behind the back glass are not all working. So I'm tracing the wire back. Right, it's over here somewhere, and then it goes to this, and then it goes through here, and it goes like here. All right, bunch of spaghetti. Some Parmesan cheese. There's Tommy DeVito from the Giants. What are you gonna do? Hey, yo! Thank you for knocking me out of the survivor pool, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna check out these fuses, okay? And I'm gonna check out the fuses in the power supply. I'm gonna check out the fuses anywhere I see them. And the way I'm gonna check the fuses is not with this piece of crap thing that doesn't work. I'm gonna try it, but it's not really reliable, but I will try a couple. And usually the green light comes on. It's a simple fuse tester that comes with a fuse kit, so that one's supposedly good. All right, the green light goes on, and then you can see if it's good or not. I think I'm not touching. Okay, there we go. That one looks a little bit crappy. That looks like it could be cracked, but I'm trying to touch it the right way. Yeah, I got it. And right here is one. Yeah, this is not a good one at all. All right, so far all those are good. Let's see about this one. Good. I'd love to see one of these fuses blown. All right, so far all those fuses are good. So I don't know if I'm gonna waste my time changing them. I'm gonna come down here, check out a couple more. Okay, that one worked. That one worked. That one worked. That worked. I don't know anybody that's on the East Coast that's close to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. There's a guy called Automated Services. I think his name is Mike. He's like a massive, massive collector of pinball machines from way back. He had so many. I think he had a route and, came into like this, just kept doing it for all those years. So he has a massive collection of pinballs, ones you can't get anymore. And he's not giving them away. You have to definitely go there with the right price. And if you pee him off, then he's going to tell you to hit the bricks. But they just did like some kind of a open house the other day. I'm going to say this past weekend maybe. I don't know if it was for Black Friday or whatever, but it was a to-do. It was something big for the pinball community and arcades, because he also has arcades. And it was almost like a pinball show, arcade show, but an open house, I guess, to see what he had. Anybody wanted to buy anything, of course you can. You got to go to the cash, obviously, the right amount of cash, or even trades. But that's Automated Services. He's located in Connecticut. I forget where exactly in Connecticut, but if you look it up, it'll come up. Automated Services in Connecticut. I think his name is Mike the Donor, something like that. But anyway, he's got a whole bunch, and I just saw that on YouTube that they did something. I didn't look through the whole video, but I watched a little bit of it, and it was cool to see. Because there's only a couple pinball shows that go on around this area annually. One is Pinfest out in Allentown, which is a great show. Been going there for God knows how long, 7 or 8 years, maybe 9 years. I didn't get to go to the show every year because I have young kids and more responsibilities than playing pinball and going to pinball shows. But I have taken my kids there, and it's not easy to do my thing when I have my kids. But they're getting older, so it is getting easier now. But I'm definitely planning on going this year. They have another show at York, Pennsylvania, which is very far from me. Too far really to drive. I haven't been there in a while. I think this is the White Rose Pinball Show. So that's also something to go to if you're interested in pinball. And there's another one by Pintastic. And it's a guy named Gabe. I met Gabe a long time ago. And before he started doing the show, when he was actually doing his first pinball show. And he's from... it's not Boston, Massachusetts. It is Amherst. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but he's definitely in Massachusetts, somewhere close to like Gillette Stadium, I would say. It's one of the bigger cities in Massachusetts. So check that out too. Pintastic. So in the East Coast, if anyone's interested in going to any of those shows, definitely look them up. All right. So for this Star Wars troubleshoot right now so far, it is not any fused. I have seen. What I'm going to do also now is I'm going to pull off a lot of the clips, the Molex clips. Let me check this other fuse. I think I missed it. I'm going to pull off all these guys and reseat them because sometimes they get dirty. It's nothing to do with this because this is all DMD, right? This is all DMD stuff. I'm still going to reseat them. Everybody's looking at me like, what are you doing? You know what stinks when you pull these off? Sometimes you pull a wire out. That stinks. But they get oxidized and dirty, so if you pull them off, they kind of get a little clean, or you get rid of some of the junk that's on them. And that could help your simple fix. Right? Another thing to do is push in all the ROMs. Right? All these things in. And you'll crunch them, because they'll be, like that. Crunches. Yeah, that was a little loose. That could be also a small little fix. Even the small ones you can do. All this little stupid stuff. But you know what? This is what a lot of techs do when they first troubleshoot. Instead of having to take things apart and change boards, you do the simplest things first, and it could solve your problem. You never know. See, when you crack it like that, it's a little loose. When you transport games, things pop out and bounce out and get loose. So that's something that you have to do. And do it carefully, like I did before pulling this sucker out. I don't want to do that again. I don't know how many times I messed that up by missing the one little hole. And, the chips aren't expensive, but they're still $40 a pop, And if you break a pin or mess up anything on that, it's done. You can't do nothing with it. You can barely fix it. So, I know it's a little possibly annoying video, but I'm doing it anyway. The Perils of Pinball. That's a cool pinball channel, YouTube channel. Anyone want it? Go ahead and take it. Enjoy. Pinballs. The Perils of Pinball. All right. You know what I also might want to do if this doesn't happen for me? I might take off the power supply and see how it does with another power supply, if that helps anything out. I don't want to, but I need to get this thing out of here. And I want the guy that buys it to be happy and say Monster Core Arcade is awesome. And if I can't get it to work, then I'm going to tell them, listen, I know plenty of techs out there where you're from. If you want to buy it, I'll give you a discount, and then you can figure it out yourself and save yourself money and learn as you go. Your choice, pal. And we'll see what happens. But until then, let's see if I can get this guy perfect though for him. Wait a second. No, it stays there. I was looking over here. I'm like, is that the one? No, it's definitely not. And the other thing that stinks is my eyes are so bad. I see like triple. I didn't even have any ale today. So, gotta get my eyes touched up very soon. I'm not wearing glasses either. Not my style. See, I'm cracking all these things in too. Oh no, I can't crack those. I did this one already, right? See, I'm not anything to do with board guy. No chance I'll mess with a board. And this is my only thing here. That looks like it's dirty. I feel like I want to clean it with something. Little wire brush right there, right? Very weird. You could see that. I don't know if you could see what I'm talking about. But this, I guess it's number 5. Just this clip, it doesn't look like it fits. It doesn't look like it's the right one, but that's the only one it has. And it has that stop there too, which I feel like I should pull it out. I don't know. I have no idea how it even goes in. Doesn't make sense. This is all the way it's supposed to be. Oh, that one is not good. That has to be reset. Interesting. Yeah, but that's in, so it doesn't matter. And that's in. The other thing that's hard for me in this basement is that I can't lift up. I can't pull out a lot of the playfield glasses because they're so, together. And I need to get that pinball jack that the guy had. The guy actually had a pinball jack at the show. Very great invention. My sip of coffee while I'm contemplating. Yeah, this guy at the Pinfest show, probably at other pinball shows too, had a pinball jack, like a car jack, just for pinballs. A small one. You just crank up the pinball machine and you can lift up the playfield glass. 1, 2, 3. It wasn't even that much money, like $100. So I didn't get it though because I wasn't thinking straight. But I definitely needed it. So when I see it this year, I'm grabbing it. All right. As of right now, I'm not sure what's going on. So let me put this down and let me see what's going on. Oh, it's time to operate. How to use my muscles to lift this up and pull the playfield glass out because I have no clearance, but I handle it. Putting it back will be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll figure it out. So looking inside this sucker, I already found one thing that I forgot about. This little switch right here is off. Not a switch. I don't think it's a switch. It's called something else, but it's for some mode, I guess. When the ball goes down, it activates right there. You can see that. So that just has to be put back on. Anyone that is a novice pinball person, such as myself, I'm a little bit more than a novice, but I don't know how to do a lot of these things. I'm going to learn. You have to learn. A lot of it's trial and error. But the simplest little things to do is changing these bulbs. You know, you spend a couple $100 maybe to get a whole bunch of LEDs, right? And when you lift the playfield up, which is not hard to do at all, you can easily see how to do that. The screw in there, that's not a good thing. Always look inside whenever you lift up your pinball machine playfield, look inside and vacuum it out and get rid of all the crap that's in there, like spare parts or any kind of screws. Because when you do transport it again, all those screws will bounce all over the place, and they could go right to this thing right here, which is just a magnet, but it also can short something out. So you don't want that to happen. So all those like parts right there, get them out. Possible jackpot. So this little clip right here is off. Look at that. And does it go right here on the ball ejector? And this little piece right here is not even in, which is making the balls not go, which is why that happens. And a screw is missing. Like a screw's loose in most of our heads. All right, so I'm going to say that little sleeve connector thing goes right there. Right there. And then that right there, that hook that goes underneath, that the balls don't go. It says it's missing a ball. See one little screw and adjusting it. You see that screw right there is missing? And it's not where it's supposed to be. That is possibly the problem. Let's see what happens. Alright, I had to go get my son's special screw gun. One thing to do if you're a novice pool pinball owner is do not operate on these machines when they are on. You can change bulbs because it's easier to see if the bulb works. Right, so you can just do that. It's really nothing. Just make sure you don't hit anything like that's metal. You know, anything that's really big. There's a lot of interesting things done to this machine. When you change LEDs, change old bulbs to LEDs. That's something that you kind of need to do is keep the game on. What I do sometimes is bend it. All right. Sorry, you didn't see that. See how that's like that? You can't really get to the bulb. Just bend it. And you just take that out. It's like a flasher. And you just put it back when you put the other bulb in. It's easy. Just nonsense. It's honestly, I've always wanted to buy like so much pinball stuff, and then every time I want to, I just don't have the money for it because, you know, that's just the way life is. But what I suggest to you, if you do have the money at the time, because when you own pinball machines, you're gonna not have much money afterwards because you're gonna spend a lot of money on these things, a lot of upkeep. But you do 100% definitely upgrade to LED, because the old lights, these, I guess they call them incandescent bulbs, right? They're 30 to 40 years old. Most of them are blown out. If you touch a bulb like this in a machine and it's running for an hour or so, you know, that's minimal, an hour. Imagine running it for hours, you know, a whole day. These bulbs are going to burn hot. They're going to melt wires, and, you know, eventually it's going to go back to the boards in the back, and it's going to melt those boards. So that's something to consider when you own a machine, is upgraded it to LED. All right, I'm not going to keep going because I want to get this thing done. I have to go to work soon. So that's just two little simple fixes right now I'm going to do. One is put this clip back into where it belongs with the power off. The other one is that little switch right there, the little wire gate that goes, not a gate, it's a wire, I forget what they call that thing. It has a name. It's like a clicker that way, you know, when the ball goes over, it sends messages or whatever to wherever it goes, and it's part of obviously it's part of the game mode. So let me get to that. I'll show you what happens afterwards, and hopefully that's a simple fix. All right, I feel like a mechanic underneath the car. So I had to bend this little bracket piece down a little bit. right? Because it was bent probably from leaning it on the pinball machine right here, right? You're supposed to lean the pinball machine on these two legs, which usually are loose. Need screws up there too. So if you ever pull up the machine, always look and make sure you have to put screws in there. Anyway, so all I did was just put another screw in there. It's not matching, but it's fine as long as the screw isn't, obviously longer than the playfield. The girth of the playfield, or whatever you want to call it, width of it. So all I did was just put it back in the same hole that it was. There's another hole right there for it, so I put it in there. And now this little, I guess, the clicker thing right here, right, for the drain, the ball drain, that also looked like it had to be bent back a little bit, which I did. So now I'm going to test it out, see what happens. And also I have to put this piece back on too. Hold on while I'm here. This little clip, this should go right back there. And I can't see nothing. But I have my headgear on the wrong way. So I'm a spaz. One thing to do when you're doing pinball is not rush. If you have something to do, then don't bother. Do it when you have nothing to do, when you're relaxing, when you can drink some beers or have some ale. Ale is vino. I call ale vino with my Kinga. But this is supposed to be fun stuff. It's not supposed to be aggravation. It's not supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be fun. I do this a lot with my my girlfriend, who really compliments me on everything that I do, and she makes it more fun. She is excited to come down here and play. Like I said before, my kids are all into this in their own way, but sometimes coming down here it doesn't happen because we have a lot going on, and it just gets late and gets tiring, and then whatever. But when we do get down here, it's just a nice time, and that's the reason why this is down here, is because of that, to make it a nice, beautiful escape. So anyway, just sharing that with you. But yeah, let's see what happens when we put this thing on. And I'm hoping that's the answer, man. It seems like it. All right, this is where the patience comes into play. So this little sleeve thing here, whatever they call it again, a connector clip, in that hole in the slot is all jacked up, so it's not perfectly sliding into that, and I'm pretty strong, so if I force it in, I'll probably bend that wire off, and then I'm going to have to solder. I'm not good at soldering. I'm not going to do that right now either, unless it goes down there. You know what, it could go down that one. You know what, I don't even know which one it goes on. I'm going to have to take a look and see on other machines which clip it goes on, either this one or this one. And there could be another one laying around too that needs to go in there. Yoo-hoo! The perils of pinball. Hey, fit that one. All right, so I'm going to say it's that one. And if it's not, then we'll switch it to the top. But I'm going to take a guesstimate and say it's right there. Let's see what happens. All right. I did what I had to do. Now I'm going to fire it back up and see if it is solved. 3 balls. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. A lot of clicking going on here. All right, so this little clip right here causes it to keep clicking. So that's probably not where it goes. It could go up to the other one, the top one. So let me just take a look at it. But first, before I do anything more, I want to see if it just comes out the way it's supposed to. So hold on. Still shows 1 pinball missing, and 3 pinballs are in there, so that's not it. Yes. Where's Chewy? Yeah. Now I should go with the 4th time. Not sure. 1 ball is coming out though, that's good. So let it drain. You know what to do, I understand. Nope. Nope.